Hi everybody, I am Dr. Mike Todorovich. I am your convener for 1805 NRS Human Anatomy and Physiology at the Nathan campus. This trimester I will be joined by my Canadian co-convener, Mr. Grant Williams Pritchard. That's obviously not Grant. There we go, that's Grant. Together, over the next 12 weeks, we're going to be teaching you about how the human body works.
What is that? How does that work? How does that work?
So we're going to go through online lectures, labs, and tutorials, and we're going to work through a whole range of important topics. Now, anatomy and physiology, you may hear, is a difficult course. It's not. There is a lot of content. There's a lot of stuff you got to do, which means you need to stay on top of it, and you also need to carve out that time in your schedule to study. It's not hard, but it is time consuming. That's important. What topics are we going to go through this trimester? In week 1, we are going through an introduction to anatomy and physiology. This is where you say hi to anatomy and hi to physiology, and we take a look at the various organ systems of the body and very broadly, how do they work? And in week 2, we're talking about body chemistry. Basically, how to make a person.
Let's just say I'm Frankenstein's monster.
What ingredients do we need from atoms to molecules to cells in order to make you and I? In week 3, we go through the cell, DNA, and heredity. So what happens when that sperm meets that egg and does that very special thing in order to make a person? What is this process? And how do we inherit various traits from our parents?
Probably on his father's side, you know.
It's an interesting trait.
In week 4, we are looking at tissues and integumentary. I'm not going to lie, it's quite a dry topic. Not a lot of fun, but it's really important because we go through the 4 important tissues of the body.
Oh boy, I need a tissue.
Which we build upon in subsequent weeks, but also we look at the integumentary system, our skin, which, if I remind you, is the largest organ of the body. If I decided to skin you, it would make a 2 square meter disgusting rug.
That rug really tied the room together, did it not?
Week 5 is the skeletal system. So we go through the bones of the body and how these bones create a framework for the rest of the muscles and tissues that are placed upon it. In week 6, we begin a 3-week journey through one of my favorite topics, the nervous system. So we introduce you to the nervous system in week 6. In week 7, we go through the central nervous system, which is the brain and spinal cord. And then in week 8, we go through the peripheral nervous system, which are all the nerves that shoot out and away from the brain and brainstem and spinal cord, and all the nerves that come back in. Week 9 is hormones. So we talk about the endocrine system. We talk about the various glands of our body from the top of our head to the tip of our toes and the types of hormones they release and what these various hormones do. Week 10 is the muscular system, and we talk about the 3 different types of muscle, being that of heart muscle or cardiac muscle, smooth muscle that lines the inside of our hollow organs to move things through, and also skeletal muscle, the muscle that's attached to our skeleton that allows for us to walk, talk, run, jump, sing, and dance.
What's going on, B-? What's a heps?
Stewie, you look gross.
Week 11 is hematology, so this is blood, and we're talking about all the components of blood and why it's important. And then week 12, the final week of this trimester for AMP, which is anatomy and physiology, and that's going to be immunology. So we talk about how does our immune system work and how do vaccines work. Regarding assessment for this course, we have 3 assessment items. 1, online quizzes. So every couple of weeks we have online quizzes that you will need to do, and they add up to a total of 20%. Do not miss an online quiz. We have a mid-trimester assignment. So this is where you do a written assignment about a particular topic regarding anatomy and physiology. And then finally, we have an end of trimester exam, which covers most of the content that we go through from week 1 to week 12. So finally, myself and Grant would like to welcome you to Human Anatomy and Physiology 1805 NRS. Can't wait to see you all face to face.